Hello everybody, this is the Aquarian Medium. Welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me today. Full moon coming up, and with Tesla's Neptune return coming up, we are in a transition of health, of wealth, our values. If you know anything about Greek mythology, Roman mythology, there is a goddess that rules the grain, rules the harvest, rules the earth. She is a mother goddess here, and her name is Demeter or Ceres. She is a nurturing principle. She is a mothering figure. She wants to care for her family. And that is also what is very prominent in the Christ consciousness chart right now, with the Virgo full moon, with the Neptune return that we are going to experience on March 3rd. Why it's so significant is because the Christ consciousness that I read is birthed on March 3rd, 003. So it's 333, it's 369. And these energies that I read on a daily basis is showing that the children being born now, the energies that are around us right now are psychic, creative energies, and they are futuristic, visionary, bringing the hopes and wishes to earth. There is a heaven on earth that is being birthed. But before we experience this heaven on earth, before we have the complete fulfillment of our desires of having a heaven on earth, we are going to go through some geological changes. We are going to go through changes within our body, within our cellular makeup. And these changes have been foreseen for many years. In fact, they have been placing towers around the globe, satellites in our Earth's atmosphere, because of the age that we are going into. Tesla's Uranus return will be on March 11th, 2025. And so we have to accommodate the energies that are around. The North Node is in Gemini. Gemini is the power of the mind. This is an energy that Tesla created with. He rose in Taurus with Vulcanus. There was a connection to this earth with Vulcanus that sprung up this volcanic eruption, earth-shaking, groundbreaking. And then he had Pluto, Cupid, Uranus, Selene in Gemini, Vesta in Gemini. So these energies that he came in with were about the value of the power of the mind. It was shaking him up all the time. Having Pallas in Gemini, and then Zeus in Gemini, trans-Pluto in Gemini in this second house, made him have these wake-up calls about energy, about magnetism. And he was very creative with these psychic forces that are around us with his works, with the energy that is coming into our Earth's atmosphere. This intelligence that he created with is not from aliens. It was from within that this power came from, connecting with the spirit world. I mean, God's will was being done in his third house of communications with Mercury in the sign of Gemini, right next to Saturn in Cancer. I mean, we could go on and on. The Christ consciousness is connecting to Cronus, Venus, and Demeter. Over the next couple of weeks through March, because the spring equinox is March 20th. Have you a plan? Don't rely on the comfort that you have in the outer world. Rely on the comforter that you have within you. Learn how to grow your own food. Learn what to do if we have a massive geological event. Have a plan. The biggest way, I think, that we can prepare for what is coming is to turn off the TV, take your shoes off, walk the earth, talk to God, and thank Him for all the lessons, for all the hardships, for all the blessings, for allowing you to come here into this plane of existence and this experience and be a part of the glory of being able to connect with one another naturally and connect to the earth naturally. The earth needs us to connect back to her. The United States will definitely have a new monetary system very soon. There are a lot of changes that are going to take place. And I'm not telling you this to create fear. I'm telling you this so you'll go ahead and you'll learn how to connect naturally to your higher self, this power of the mind that these children that are coming into earth with, that Tesla had. The way that Cronus comes into the picture is a devouring energy. It'll be in the public, could have to do with the sun, could have to do with the way that we are creating, the fertility. Lots of changes in this sun. Sorry, now I'm over here. I had to do something about that sun as I'm talking about the sun. So we are going through an evolution, a revolutionary time. It will also be about beliefs, about religions. The same energies that I'm talking about that are all around us right now, these creative forces, it's the same energy that King James and Francis Bacon used to create the Bible. It's very inspiring. The energies right now are so inspiring that the future generations will create a massive different type of world. And the earth, the people, this evolutionary time is preparing the earth, the future generations for what is to come. The past always prepares us for the future. It will always prepare us for the future. What we've experienced in the past, what's happened in the past, that is how we can look back, see the hindsight, get the wisdom, and understand why we went through the hell that we went through. That's the time period that we're going into. It's a revelating time. This is a time of renewal. This is the time where we come together. Unity and diversity. We're going to be forced off the merry-go-round because our values are not centered. Our heart, our spine, that kundalini has got to raise and understand that there is a God, that we are creators, that virtuous reason is being called on right now. And this devouring energy that we have around us with these towers, with all of the energetic particles that are seeping into our atmosphere, with this solar wind that we get now, it's more excited. We are not always in the same place of the solar system. We are going through a part of the solar system that's very energetic. It's dynamic. It's explosive. It's powerful. And our attitudes, our behaviors matter. Matter. The way that we have healed in the past is not going to work going into the future. If you are forced to live off the land, do you know how? The past does bring us wisdom. The past shouldn't bring us depression. And the future shouldn't bring us anxiety. But when we think about right now and what we have right now, do you have enough? Do you have excess? I don't really want to preach, but these energies that are around us, that will be around for years, calls on us to change directions. If you're upset about the school systems, figure out another creative way. In our ancient past, parents sent their kids to healers that could teach them about the spiritual essence of who they are, how to eat healthy, how to keep the hypothalamus in good working order. They understood that health was over any wealth, that if you didn't have your vitality, if you didn't have this life path that was centered around your spiritual essence, the imbalance would throw you off the merry-go-round. The wound for Tesla was his visions. It was in Aquarius in the 10th house that was ruled by Capricorn. These visions that he had were meant to be. Nothing happens by chance. And when the timing is just right, there's going to be an intervention, because there is a God. This doesn't mean that you have to run out and get baptized. Christ was just showing that ritual of being washed of these misgivings by John was a vision he received that made him feel much better about the karma, the undoing that he needed to act out, because Sedna was in his 12th house. Christ had to regenerate this energy with Sedna in that lifetime. The last lifetime. This artificial connection that we have here on earth is the way governing bodies fix, manage, and control a problem that they foresee in the future because of their bad choices that they made. Having compassion for these leaders having compassion for people that are not making the choices that you think that they should make. Let it go. That's what Sedna teaches us, is to let go and be at one and to trust the plan. Trust God. The wisdom that we have been given will help prepare us to help one another in times of crisis. It's just things that are good to know. Do you have Neosporin? Do you have Band-Aids? Do you have canned food? Are you close to water? Do you have candles? Do you have seeds to plant? Even if the soil becomes toxic, we can heal that with our minds, with the power of the mind, with the connection that we have with God. With Uranus in Taurus right now, with Saturn in Aquarius right now, shake-ups, wake-up calls about the Earth's resources are imminent. Shake-ups, challenges, and hardships. Also with the Saturn energy of the future. So governing bodies. How we use our time. How we use our time really is going to be a game changer. It's about the bones of the earth. So we are going to have to restructure the way that we use our time. Restructure the governing bodies. Restructure the money. Everything is focused on the future right now. And with the coming age, it's definitely focused on truth, liberation. Revolutionary spirits are coming in with a higher gnosis, with a North Node in Gemini. Uranus, Mars, Sedna, the dark moon in Taurus, and the earth. The times ahead are challenging, guys. Use this time to learn how to understand your own magnetic field of energy. Learn how to grow food, how to live off the land. The Virgo full moon will be in opposition of Pisces, the sun. It always is on a full moon. Saturn, Mercury, Jupiter, Pallas, all in Aquarius. Venus in Pisces next to the sun, with Pluto still hanging out in Capricorn. Transforming the government, transforming how we use our time. Hygeia coming into Leo, that's all about our children. The sun, our health, fertility. Vesta using her soul work in Virgo with our health. Poseidon's hanging out in Scorpio trying to give us wisdom about death, rebirth, and regeneration. Trailing behind is Apollo and Scorpio, trying to be this great physician. But we must realize that in Scorpio, the immaturity of the scorpion wants to deceive so it can sting. Vulcanus, also being in Leo, presents itself as an explosive eruption of energy in Leo. Our sun will be erupting with CMEs, of course. And then Hades and Cronus are in Cancer. So we have an emotional devouring energy here in Cancer at home. Still have Chiron and Aries. So we have a lot of things going on with our head, with our hypothalamus, with our endocrine system, with our nervous system, circulatory system. We are being bombarded. Not to mention Demeter. Ceres is here in Aries as well. And that is what is touching down to the same exact minute, second, degree as the Christ consciousness chart. It's about our life path, the vitality, the health, wanting to give us courage, about the RAM, about the way that we process food, the way that we process our connection to one another. For Christ, Demeter, that energy is touching his Vulcan. There is a will, and it's not his personal will that's going to be done. It will be God's will. Because when man needs an adjustment, oh, daddy brings it. Just like your father, just like your mother would help you get out of the mess that you're in. This is the time that we chose to come, to experience, to give service. And that's what this full Virgo moon is really about. It's about giving service, not being so critical, teaching other people that intuition is the forgotten sense. This reflection of our health is from the way that we treat one another, how we value our health, how we value our vitality, and who we depend on to heal us. At some point in time, we have to be responsible for our own vitality and our children's vitality, our family, one another. This is a time where we are going to learn how to take care of one another and be responsible. Have some virtuous reason about us. Our values are really being tested. And the values are ruled by Venus. And that's another aspect that Cronus and Venus are the same. Christ, Cronus, and Venus are the same with the full moon in Virgo. His nodes will be touching the midheaven that day. Maybe it'll just be a market crash, but our values are going to change very soon. And when they do, it'll be abruptly. The reason why we are having these hormonal issues and these issues with our head is because of our values. The communications, the way that we are connecting, networking, creates issues with the lungs because Mercury rules the lungs. Taurus rules the thyroid, the throat and the neck. And so we have this area that is being messed with, which is causing the rest of our bodies to be off balance. And so these creative forces that are around seek to show us, devour this monetary system so we can be better creators with art, music, the earth, farming, cultivating a better culture in society, and really connecting on a spiritual level with our values. That is what this full moon in Virgo is showing me. It's showing me a lot. It's basically a spin-off from the new moon in Aquarius. We are transitioning. We are transitioning right now into a really cool time. Just ground yourself, breathe, get by water, get in water, in the shower, and just meditate. Be still, be silent. It's as simple as that. And when we're quiet, we can receive a natural spiritual connection. All right, so until next time, you guys take care, and I will see you guys real soon. All right.